You can charge your weapon like do a magical cool spell.
Oh fuck! No!
Death by water.
No!
Then you are forced to rest me now.
Oh Jesus!
Hey everyone, it's Django here. So, after a slightly ropey and very quickly put together preview the other day, I've finally got off of my lazy arse to do a proper review for Magicka. Let's get something straight from the start. Magicka isn't something you should have necessarily heard of, or indeed need to be too dismissive of either. But as you'll see, it does have some nice surprises about it. So anyway, let's get started. Magicka is a top-down adventure game with occasional puzzles to keep you interested. Your little character, dressed like a cross between a Jawa from Star Wars and one of Harry Potter's bastard children, is a pretty versatile little fella. Quite early in the game you learn about how to control your character and how to combine spells to get past obstacles and overcome enemies and bosses. Some of these combined spells are quite impressive and give you a surprising amount of options when adventuring. And you gotta love the ability to explode a whole horde of mobs in one go. It's like nuclear Christmas. Now, the story itself doesn't really mean that much, to be honest. And as you might expect, there's good guys who sound like the Swedish chef from the Muppets, and the bad guys who sound like the chef from the Muppets, except angrier. Basically, there's some bad stuff going down in Midgard, this fantasy land you're adventuring around, and you're the only midget who can sort things out. As you might be able to tell, the story was a little weak, and truthfully it made no difference at all to the enjoyment of the game. So let's get on to the gameplay. The gameplay basically consists of you adventuring through zoned areas, fighting off a varied bunch of enemies and goblins, evil mages, orcs, dirty great trees of hate, and much more besides, and fulfilling certain quests and achievements as you go. The game is a surprising mix of action and fun, but at the same time being quite relaxed, which at times feels a little strange. But on the whole, the gameplay makes up for any of those inconsistencies. Also, the gameplay tends to come into its own on two fronts, in co-op mode and through experimentation. In co-op mode, which allows up to 4 players to go through the story or compete in arenas, you can join spells for greater effect, and the teamwork side of the game is quite a challenge to master and a great deal of fun. The other side of the game is experimentation. Yes, you learn how to do some of the basics at the start of the game, but the real game is finding how certain spell combinations work together with a teammate or something, or just on your own, and simply by trying them out. The results can be quite funny and often pretty awesome, and give you even more options for when you're adventuring. The graphics and sound of Magicka are quite basic, and although that might sound like it's a bad thing, like I said about the story, it's not that much of a big deal really. If anything, the graphics make it more quaint, relaxing and enjoyable than anything else, and often the sound keeps the mood light and fun. The biggest challenge, I think, to newcomers will be the controls. Although there aren't a massive amount, there's a lot of combinations to learn, and in some fights you need to react fairly quickly. But having said that, it doesn't take too long to pick them up, and you can obviously build on them as the more you play and the more you adventure through the game. But the game is smooth, it runs well, and now that most of the bugs have gone from the early release of the game, so it's pretty much uninterruptible fun all the way. So despite the fact I never would have thought I'd enjoy a game like this, I actually am. And although for me it's probably one that I will definitely only play as co-op, it's just a lot more fun like that. For any fans of Rage of Mages, Torchlight or any of those types of games, you'll love this. And if you're not a fan of those, then let's pretend this never happened. However, for the price-fun ratio alone, it's well worth a look. Anyway, my scores for Magicka will come up at the end. Take a look at the website if you want to check out the demo or whatnot. And until next time, bye!
You're welcome, bitch. Spanking, backing. Yeah. Oh my god, what the? You pwned the quest giver! They're heavy! Look at the poor little tits. One's over there and one's over there.
Yeah, all over the floor. Big tits.
You know it's time for us to step it up. Another level now, cause we finished warming up, so we rise up. Elevate to maintain, fill up with octane and fan